Hello, I am actor and writer Kenny Boyle, and I will be your host today for the Robert Burns Humanitarian Award 2025. We're coming to you from Ayrshire just now in Bonnie, Scotland, where the time is about 2 in the afternoon. But for some of our nominees, it'll be about dinner time. And for some of you, it's probably well past your bedtime. So let's get this show on the road. Wherever you happen to be watching from in the world today, we wish you a very, very warm welcome. The Robert Burns Humanitarian Award, supported by Destination South Ayrshire and South Ayrshire Council, was founded in 2002. It recognises courage, commitment, inspiration and humanitarian efforts from people of any race, age, gender or nationality. All of our nominees and finalists today and every year are exceptional people who have done incredible things, and we are lucky to have some of the previous winners on our judging panel. The winner this year will receive not just the title of Robert Burns Humanitarian Award winner 2025, but also £1,759 guineas, or £1,800 in today's money. This symbolises the year of the bard's birth. Robert Burns was born in 1759, and also the currency that was in circulation at the time, guineas. We are proud to be hosting this award online again this year, meaning that all of our nominees and finalists, wherever they are in the world, can be tuned in digitally. And now I will pass over to Councillor Alec Clark to tell us a little bit more about the awards. Over to you, Councillor Clark.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Alec Clark and I'm the councillor responsible in South Ayrshire Council for Tourism, Culture and Rural Affairs. I have the great pleasure to welcome you all to the 2025 celebration of the legacy of our bard, the Robert Burns Humanitarian Awards. This year our judging panel were inundated with nominations from across the world. Therefore our ceremony remains online once again to allow everyone to take the opportunity to be part of this occasion, celebrating the work of our humanitarians. 266 years ago to the day since he was born, we remember the National Bard of Scotland, who was a ploughman, a man of the land, and a man who understood the trials and tribulations of ordinary people. He could take lessons from the land and nature around him, and it turned towards human context, as he did with the poem, To a Mouse, when he stated that the best laid plans o' mice and men gan after gley, meaning that things don't always work out as we intend. However, he believed in people and the potential good of people in different nations to live in harmony when he wrote, For all that and all that, it's coming yet for all that man to man the world over shall brothers be for all that. Burns would have been proud of the achievements of this year's finalists, Garth Knox, Philip Obadje Jr. and Gurpreet Singh, and he would have celebrated the occasion with gusto. What Burns stood for more than anything else was a passion for humanity and equality for all, and you will see from our finalists that all have that trait in common. Collectively, all our nominees have stood up to help the vulnerable and those who may have lost hope. They have striven to alleviate suffering and to provide brighter, safer and a more peaceful future for all. Burns himself wrote, man's inhumanity to man makes countless thousands mourn. And that's a sentiment I'm sure we can all recognise when we think of what some people have to endure on a daily basis. However, with humanitarians like Garth, Philip and Gurpreet, and the organisations that they support, we can take comfort in knowing that they are tackling that inhumanity day by day and bit by bit. The work that our finalists have done and continue to do transforms people's lives. Fellowship, putting others before themselves, making amends and demonstrating that there is hope, and that is at the core of what they do. They accomplish this by deciding to make a difference, and they have undoubtedly succeeded in doing so. And I'm incredibly privileged to be a part of this ceremony honouring their contributions. Garth, Philip and Gurpreet, you're all winners. And I'm just glad that I didn't have the difficult task faced by the judging panel of choosing between the nominations. You've demonstrated that regardless of who we are or where we're from, there is room for everyone in this world and that we all count. I've no doubt that everyone watching at home will be astounded to hear the details of your efforts and achievements and be the truly inspirational stories that we're about to hear today. I'm sure that this will be a ceremony that we will all remember. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Councillor Alec Clark. The road to the Robert Burns Humanitarian Award 2025 has been a long one. We opened the doors to nominees in July of 2024, and we were astounded with how many we received. The judges thought long and hard and brought that down to just 10 shortlisted nominees. And from that 10, your 3 finalists for today were chosen. Our next guest sadly could not be with us in person today. However, she did send in a video. So I would like to introduce Gail Penfold, the winner of the Robert Burns Humanitarian Award 2024. And she will be introducing us to our first finalist, Garth Knox. So you will now be hearing from Gail Penfold, and following that, Garth Knox himself. Over to you, Gail.
Thank you for the kind introduction. My name is Gail, and I have embraced my first year in my role as the 23rd Robert Burns Humanitarian, seriously and with integrity. I never expected to receive such an honour. The year has been filled with great sadness, but also groundbreaking achievements. Whilst I continue to support people across the UK, here are just 4 local experiences or highlighted stories I wish to share. Waltham Forest Pet Food Bank is still strongly supported by local residents, and last week marked our 2nd anniversary with a visit from our Mayor and Consort. After extensive fundraising and research, my local community now have life-saving, public accessible Daniel Baird Foundation bleed control kits. Over 300 Christmas presents were distributed to vulnerable residents, and I was able to surprise some elderly residents who thought they were going on a Christmas lights coach trip to a once-in-a-lifetime champagne afternoon tea at the Courthouse Hotel just off Regent Street in central London. This memorable year ended meeting King Charles on the 20th of December 2024, and a heartwarming surprise photograph with his wife Camilla making international press and sent to me by a relative in Spain. But enough about my vocations and adventures. We have 3 amazing global finalists for 2025, all of whom to me are worthy winners, so I'm glad not to be a decision maker this year. It is my great pleasure to introduce Garth Knox from Canada. A father and grandfather, Garth obtained a law degree from Osgoode Hall Law School, York University, between 1999 and 2002. He went on to study a Master in Education in Humane Education, 2005 to 2010, with Cambridge College. He subsequently qualified in teaching English as a second or foreign language during 2016 to 17 with the Ontario District School Board. From 1989 to 2017, he was employed as a Labour and Employee Relations Manager within government and the private sector. And, as you will hear, each of these qualifications has assisted the voluntary work he's performed across the world. Garth is now known as a Canadian educator and humanitarian aid worker who has spent more than 40 years volunteering with charitable organisations, both in Canada and throughout the world. Additionally, he is a lifesaver, having been a regular Red Cross platelet donor, providing in excess of 140 donations. At home, in Canada, Garth has supported facilities such as Meals on Wheels in Ontario and Out of the Cold, which provide meals and shelter for homeless people during Toronto's coldest months. Every summer, over a 10-year period, Garth has given his time voluntarily as a camp counsellor with Campfire Circle Canada, supporting children with cancer, In 2011, Garth started volunteering for Global Medic, a non-sectarian humanitarian aid non-government organisation based in Ontario, and has since become one of its most reliable and dedicated volunteers. Global Medic is the operational arm of the David McAntony Gibson Foundation, a registered charity founded in Canada in 2002 to provide people affected by poverty, disaster or conflict humanitarian aid. It also provides disaster relief to large-scale catastrophes around the world. Garth is their only volunteer to permanently relocate in order to help those in need, having been stationed in Moldova for over 1,000 days, where he is providing essential food and water to those in neighbouring Ukraine and host families in Moldova. He has been deployed to 11 countries as a member of their vital rapid response team and has made a positive difference through assisting the world disasters. These include the 2011 Great Tohoku earthquake, the tsunami and nuclear disaster in Japan, the 2013 super typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines, the 2015 earthquake in Nepal, flooding in 2018 in both India and Myanmar, the 2021 earthquake in Haiti, and the 2022 conflict in Ukraine, which has led him to being based in Moldova. Since that conflict started, he has given out approximately 1,750 food parcels per week. During the COVID pandemic, he also assisted with vaccination clinics and helped pack international aid. This included delivering food, clean drinking water, shelter support and medical support. Garth's pride and joy is his beloved Harley-Davidson, the Black Rose, known as Rosie for short. Together they took part in various charity rides in Canada, including participating annually in the Ride for Sight, which raises funds for essential vision research needed to cure blindness. Garth is a kind and caring gentleman and an inspiration to those he meets.
Good evening. My name is Garth Knox, one of the nominees of the 2025 Robert Burns Humanitarian Award. It still seems surreal to me that I have been shortlisted for this prestigious award. I am truly grateful for the nomination and the opportunity it provides to shine a light on the importance of volunteerism and the unique experience that volunteering provides. One way or another, I have been involved in volunteering for most of my life. From being a marcher in the Santa Claus Parade for many, many years, participating in the Ride to Conquer Cancer, Meals on Wheels, Out of the Cold programs to help the homeless in our society, as well as being a camp counselor at Camp Puchigayas, a summer camp for children with cancer, now Campfire Circle, for 8 summers. For the last 14 years or so, I have been volunteering with Global Medic. Global Medic is a registered Canadian charity that provides disaster relief to large-scale catastrophes around the world and in Canada. Global Medic has been responding to the crisis in Ukraine since the conflict escalated in February of 2022. As part of this response, we have been providing primarily food and water support to Ukrainian families and host families, both within Ukraine and in neighboring Moldova. To support families in these places, Global Medic ran a hot meal program in Ukraine and delivered food kits to Odessa, Kherson, Mykolaiv, and many other places. In Moldova specifically, we have been running an extended food hamper program which provides locally procured and culturally appropriate food staples such as rice, beans, potatoes, pasta, and cabbage, as well as procuring local seasonal vegetables and fruits to support Ukrainians and host families now living in Moldova. But enough about me. What I would like you to take away from this talk is that volunteerism has the potential to change your life. If you volunteer to be noticed by others, you have your reward. But if you do good for the sake of goodness, something magical happens to you. I can't really explain it, but the reality is you always seem to get more out of volunteering than the effort you put in. It's a magical thing. I think it has to do with the fact that you are giving the most valuable thing anyone can give, their time, as an instrument of service to others. It doesn't need to be big, but the cumulative effect of many small acts of kindness will change the world while you change yourself. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Gail, and congratulations to our first finalist, Garth Knox. Earlier today, I had a conversation with someone who is no stranger to Robert Burns, being as she is the operations manager at the Robert Burns Birthplace Museum in Alloway. She is also one of our judges this year and in many previous years. And so we shall now hear from Caroline Smith, talking about our second finalist, Philip Obagi. I am here with Caroline Smith, the operations manager of the Robert Burns Birthplace Museum in Alloway. Hello, Caroline.
Hello.
So you're here to tell us about our second finalist today.
Yes.
And who is our second finalist?
Our second finalist is Philip Obagi Jr.
And he has had a background in journalism, I believe.
He has, yes, and he's used that role as a journalist to highlight issues of human exploitation and abuse in parts of Africa.
So that job has not been without its perils for him, has it?
Yes, he's frequently sacrificed his own safety and security in the name of the cause that he's supporting. And he's been captured several times, I believe, and has been in receipt of death threats himself.
And then he went on to begin the One Game campaign, which is what we're talking about with him today. Can you tell us a little bit about what One Game is about?
I think from what we understand, it's about bringing education and making it available for children, particularly ensuring that as many children as possible have the opportunity to take part in primary education. And through that work, he has engaged with governments to raise their awareness and to get them motivated to encourage people to take part in education.
His mantra is education for all, I believe. It is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He has received a number of awards and lots of recognition for the good work he's been doing. Can you tell us more about the work that he has been doing and what he's accomplished? Yeah,
I think from raising awareness of these human rights issues, he's managed to engage with governments in various countries to educate people and to start campaigns of awareness to protect people and their safety, particularly vulnerable people who are maybe in refugee camps, about the dangers of human trafficking, what that means and what it looks like. Because clearly these people are desperate for a brighter future. And these are ways that they are perhaps led into something that they're not fully aware of. So it's really, really important, significant work that he's been doing.
Absolutely. We're about to hear from Philip himself. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell us about his work before we hear from the man himself?
So yes, in his own words, Philip has given a voice to people who are really vulnerable in our society, who don't normally have a voice and are desperate for a brighter future, and he's helping them to achieve that in a safe way.
Thank you very much, Caroline Smith. And now we will hear from Philip Obagi.
Hello, I'm Philip Obagi. In the last 6 years, I have documented up to 100 human rights abuses by the Russian Wagner Group and its successor, the African Corps, active in the Central African Republic and in Mali. I have investigated and reported court-wrenching massacres, rape, and exploitation by these Russian paramilitaries in a context that is very risky. I've also spent the last decade reporting on the trafficking of young women and children, in fact, across West Africa. I have built my career on the fearless pursuit and expressions of truth. And that, of course, has earned me so many enemies. I have lost friends who have been on the field gathering information and reporting to me on the activities of overzealous foreign paramilitaries. And my work has given voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, and strength to the weak. I am very happy to have seen that dozens of victims of rape have been able to tell their stories. And those who have been victims of exploitation have been able to seek help and the encouragement they need to live better lives. I am very grateful to be named as a finalist for the Robert Burns Humanitarian Award. It means so much to me, and even more for my work that I've been doing, trying to give a new sense of hope to vulnerable people in very difficult communities. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to Caroline Smith, and congratulations to our second finalist, Philip Obagi. Now, the next person you're going to hear from is someone whose hard work behind the scenes makes these awards possible year upon year. She has been with the Robert Burns Humanitarian Awards for many years, and her name is Jane Brown, who's going to be telling us about our third finalist, Gurpreet Singh. Over to you, Jane.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure again to introduce one of the finalists of the Robert Burns Humanitarian Awards. Congratulations to all the nominees, which was very well deserved, but this is one of the finalists I'm going to introduce to you. His name is Gurpreet Singh Mintu Malwa, and he runs the Manukhta de Siwa Society in Ludhiana, Punjab, India. Mr. Singh grew up in Hasanpur near Ludhiana and initially worked as a real estate agent before forming an eatery within the district of Ludhiana. It was after an infirm man who had mental health challenges collapsed outside his eatery. Mr. Singh decided he needed to do something to change society. He gave the man first aid, a bath, clothes and food, and also took him to a doctor. He told his story on social media and received many messages of support who helped Mr. Singh continue these acts of kindness. Through time, he then formed the Manukhta de Siwa Society as a non-government organisation on a formal basis. He is the driving force behind this NGO and appeals on a daily basis for the families of the destitute to come forward. If no one responds, Mr. Singh works to find the best support and outcomes for the individual. Having founded the society in 2016, Mr. Singh is supported by a team of volunteers and donors who work to rescue individuals who have been left to die at the roadside, in slums, outside hospitals, often through their physical, mental or emotional state at that time. In some instances, where people have been left at the side of the road and wounds have not been covered, they need to be treated in hospital for maggot infestation. Volunteers from the society will work with the individual, getting them showered, provide them with clean clothes, and have them treated by medics. And then they find them somewhere to stay. They also liaise with the police when they become aware of individuals being used as slaves by more affluent people in order to have them released and taken care of. Every 2 weeks, Mr. Singh and his supporters hold free medical camps offering psychological support and also providing support for people who are either partially sighted or blind. The Society also gives the poorest within the community free monthly food vouchers. In addition to this, the Society sponsors gifted students from poorer families so they can get an education. I think we'll agree that Mr. Singh is a worthy finalist for the Robert Burns Humanitarian Awards in 2025. You can only admire his selflessness and the work that he does. Again, congratulations to all and good luck to everyone in the final. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane Brown. Next, we would have heard from our finalist Gurpreet Singh. Unfortunately, we're unable to bring you his video. However, I will summarise what he wished to be said. Mr. Singh wanted to thank the Robert Burns Humanitarian Awards for the nomination. He started his project in 2016, and along with volunteers, he helps people in the most desperate of need. Some of the people he's helped have literally been found dying by the side of the road. He provides shelter, food, medical care, clean clothes, and helps people find accommodation. And all of this is done completely free of charge. Not only do they care for people's physical health, but they care for people's psychological health. Every 2 weeks, they run a medical camp for people with complex mental health conditions. As well as that, they sponsor children from poorer backgrounds. Mr. Singh believes that any child can become an artist or a magician or anything else they want to be with the proper cultivation and given the opportunity. Mr. Singh also wanted to thank us because his project has never been recognised for an award of this kind before. Thank you, Mr. Singh. What incredible, inspirational stories we have heard from our 3 finalists. You are all winners. And also, thank you to Jane Brown, Caroline Smith, and their fellow judges, Habib Malik and John Murtagh. Without you, this simply would not be possible. Now, earlier on, I had the chance to talk to Councillor Martin Dowie, the leader of South Ayrshire Council and the chair of the Robert Burns Humanitarian Awards. Here's what he had to say about the awards. Councillor Dowie, it's lovely to sit and chat with you. Could I ask you to just introduce yourself for the people at home?
Pleasure, Kenny. So I'm Councillor Martin Dowie, and I'm the leader of South Ayrshire Council.
And what is your role within the Robert Burns Humanitarian Awards?
So I chair the panel that sit and do this wonderful event, and it's challenging because the people who are put up for an award, every one of them deserve to win it. So it's very challenging for the panel. Luckily, I don't judge. I just I chair it, so it's great. It's great for South Ayrshire. It's great for the community, and we're very happy to support it.
The award is coming to us online again this year.
Yes.
What are the benefits of that?
So we used to have it years ago, actually in Burns' Cottage, which was great, but to get everybody, it's not accessible. And this way everybody can dip into it, everybody can see what we're doing. And I think it works better. The Burns Cottage is great, but I think this format works far better than what it did when it was, just councillors there and a few guests. So we're very happy with the format, and long may it continue.
Absolutely. So this is the Robert Burns Humanitarian Awards. How does this continue the legacy of Robert Burns?
So Burns in his day was cutting edge. He was very out there. He was very liberal. Yeah, the people he hung about with, if you want to put it that way, were the hoi polloi, but he could speak to the common man and woman, and he was very liberal for his time. And basically, he was into humanitarian endeavours back in the 1780s, and we're trying to keep that legacy, but with a modern slant on it. So we want to show that despite everything that's bad in the world, there's hundreds and hundreds, thousands of people who put their lives on the line in some cases to help other people. And that's what the legacy is about. And we're very happy to support that. And it's great that every year we continually get loads of people who apply for this award. Yeah. It's great.
And our finalists this year, of course, they embody this legacy of Burns.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I say, everybody who was put up for an award, every one of them could have won it. And it's been a hard task, but I think the judges got there in the end, as we'll see later on. And it's just been, it's terrific for me as council leader to be involved in this. It's absolutely great. And when you see the stories coming in, it's brilliant.
Yeah, we're coming to the big moment now. We're about to announce who the winner is. Yeah. So before we do that, is there anyone that you would like to pass your thanks on to?
Well, obviously the judges who have every year have a hard task with this. I'd like to thank South Ayrshire Council, Destination South Ayrshire team, obviously NTS and the Gaiety. And I would also like to thank AMD who have shot this today, and obviously yourself, Kenny, for the hard work you do with this, because you're a really great compere for this event. But I would just like to put on record that we're very proud to have Robert Burns as a son of Ayr, son of Alloway, and we want to keep his legacy going, so we're very proud of that in South Ayrshire. So it's over to you now, Kenny, to introduce the winner, and I would just like to thank you for everything you do in this award, and it's been great this year as always. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Martin Dowie, and thank you for chairing the judging panel again this year. Not an easy task, I'm sure. Now, I could listen to the incredible stories of our finalists and nominees all day long. What incredible work they have done. However, it is now the moment you have all been waiting for. I can tell you that the winner of the Robert Burns Humanitarian Awards 2025 is Garth Knox.
Good evening. Many thanks to the organizers of the Robbie Burns Humanitarian Award and for this wonderful evening and this incredible honor. But most of all to the judging panel for the very, very difficult task of winnowing down the many accomplished nominees, all deserving of such recognition. It was an honor to be nominated for this prestigious award, and to be shortlisted with such accomplished humanitarians is for me both humbling and unbelievable. I am ecstatic that the work we are doing to get the right aid to the right people at the right time is being recognized. First and foremost, I would like to acknowledge with the utmost gratitude my family and friends who have never once wavered in their support for me. They have inspired me, encouraged me, and always believed in me. It has been an amazing collective effort by so many like-minded people. I would not be here but for the entire Global Medic team of staff and volunteers. For almost 3 years, we have worked with passion and dedication to help displaced persons, primarily women and children who have fled the horrors of war in Ukraine. I have learned so much from you all. Your compassion and your dedication, your willingness to work long hours and to do whatever was necessary to support this mission is second to none. Much respect, appreciation, and love also to our in-country partners, David and Valeria of Catalyst Kitchens and their incredible team, the many, many Ukrainian volunteers like Marina, Elena, Kate, and their families who were the lifeblood of this operation, the many other humanitarian aid workers and organizations, the amazing people of Moldova who stepped up when it mattered most and worked tirelessly to help. And of course, my Ukrainian friends, now family, here in Moldova, still in Ukraine, those relocated to other countries now, and in heaven. What began in March 2022 as a 3 to 6 week deployment has morphed into a profound 3-year experience. An experience filled with compassion and caring, hope and resilience. In the most difficult of circumstances, I have seen firsthand the best of humankind, but also the worst. It has indeed been a special chapter in my life. I look forward to a future that brings peace to the region. A future where families can once again be together to laugh, to dance and sing, to love and break bread together without any fear. And together, we'll raise a cup of kindness. In closing, I want to again thank everyone involved for this incredible honor and recognition of all the work we have collectively done thus far. We still have much to do. I humbly accept this award on behalf of the entire Global Medic team, our friends at Catalyst Kitchens, and the scores of people from Moldova and Ukraine who have played a crucial role in making this important work a reality. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Garth Knox, the winner of the Robert Burns Humanitarian Award 2025. All that's left for me to say is to thank all of our nominees, all of our finalists and our winner, to thank the judges and to thank everyone working behind the scenes who made this possible. And finally, to thank you, the viewers watching at home, wherever you might be in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or in Scottish Gaelic, Ma dain va, no fierska va, no oiki va, slanje va, Cheery and Drasta. See you next year. Thank you.